Captain's Clash continues. Okay, best of 3. Yeah, it is getting interesting. Very, very interesting here. We have Garden of Terror as our starting map, and we're starting things off with Team Dynouh against Team Serdath. So this is actually an interesting one, because we're still having a lot of teams that are fighting to get into the playoffs. There's only one team that is confirmed that they will make it to the playoffs. Everybody else is still fighting it out for positions. And this series in particular could get pretty crazy, because Team Serdath started off their run in the round robin phase with an 0-2. They went to the third map twice, but they weren't able to win the series. They played extremely well, but they just couldn't get that victory. Then they went up in their third match against Team Disciple, who at that point were just a team that was crushing everything. And Team Serdath was able to beat them on the third map, so now they were 1-2 all of a sudden in scores, which was pretty impressive for them. Team Dynouh, on the other hand, coming now into this series, is 2 wins, 2 losses when it comes to their stats. So this is a pretty big one here. Serdath against Dynouh, this is honestly a huge match. If the red team is able to win this, then they're obviously making a massive leap forward, and it's going to get more difficult for Dynouh to qualify for the next round. But to say that the games in this tournament so far have been spicy is definitely an understatement. We've seen incredible matches. So right now, we're starting things off, as I already mentioned, with Garden of Terror. We have Jojo and Blaze being taken initially here by Team Dynouh. But it's just nuts to me how many crazy comebacks we had so far. And yeah, it was just wild. So now we have Malfurion, for example, taking over here for Team Serdath. They really are also a super strong team. It didn't seem like it initially because of just if you just looked at the score. Like 0-2, it's just like, oh my god, these guys are never going to make it in the playoffs, right? But they went to the third map every single time, and all of a sudden they are the first ones and the only ones to take down Team Disciple, who already qualified in first place for the playoffs. Now, again, the big thing here is we don't have any draft rules in this tournament. The Captain's Clash gets its name from, we are using a captain system here that we've used also in other tournaments. So what's being done is that you nominate the captain, 6 captains in total for this event, and then the captains draft their teams out of a player pool that individually signed up for the tournament. There was an auction system that was used in the process as well, so that's why we don't have like pre-set up teams for this. And that's why you always look at the team members and you're also like, I'm not quite sure what power level they actually have. You can only judge from the names that they have on the lineup. And there were definitely a couple of teams that initially very heavily disappointed. Team Hazops and Team Dynouh, for example, definitely not delivering the results initially that were expected. On the other hand, we're still having a lot of games to go through. Well, not a lot, but still a few. And that will then show us which teams advance. It's 6 teams in total, full round robin, top 4 advance, the bottom 2 drop out. And we've seen crazy games. I mean, honestly, comeback after comeback, teams throwing on the core, insane matches. And now we're going for Captain Rex with Rhaegar and Sylvanas on the blue team side. And Captain Rex, by the way, won them single-handedly a game on Infernal Shrines, keeping Gul'dan alive. If you've seen it, you know, but I still to the day don't understand how Dynouh and Gul'dan survived. And not only did Dynouh dish out a lot of damage towards the core, but it was then the Malfurion of Captain Rex that just turned it around with a couple of Moonfires and auto attacks, and they were able to win that game. But it was insanely clutch. Diablo was coming in too to hopefully, you know, end the game there. But some crazy, crazy individual performances that we've seen. Now we get Mirrodin and we get Genji, so the Shimada brothers are again united as we get our final pick on Garden of Terror, Cure. So the American player hailing from NA, playing cross-server on Europe, is the final pick. Could go triple frontline. Can Garden of Terror. With Sylvanas, also good push power, and there's our triple frontline. We can get Thrall again. Well, let's go. Game number 1 between Team Serdath and Team Dynouh. On the left, the blue team with a Cure on Thrall. We got Captain Rex on Rhaegar with Feral Heart on level 1. Bad Benny is playing Johanna. We got Dynouh on Sylvanas and Copenhagen on Blaze. So again, particularly what we saw from Captain Rex in the previous series that they played was absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't seen the series against Lopaka, I would heavily recommend that you check that out. Dynouh, he yeah, he definitely has to buy Captain Rex a beer or two after that performance here. And by the way, if you're currently watching this on YouTube, make sure that you hit that like button as well. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so thus far. We're always getting more and more people that get the videos recommended, and it's always nice to see, you know, more Heroes of the Storm fans coming back, and you can help all those efforts by simply clicking the like button on the video. And of course, watch it towards the end. That helps a lot too. We currently have on the right side Team Serdath, with Serdath himself on the Haka, so the captain playing on the side lane. Rutsu on Genji. We got Nano on Hanzo, so the Shimada brothers are not only united, but also we have with Nano playing Hanzo, him on one of his absolutely top heroes here, with Taichessa playing Malfurion and Emerald Dreams, and then we get Mirrodin played by Masquerade. And off to the races with this one. So, over on the right side, that's where we're gonna see Candy King Mirrodin, again trying to lead things off with the Stormbolt. Alright, so apparently Rutsu had some monitor issues, and shortly after that we had on the other side, I don't actually know who it was, but I think it was Copenhagen who then suggested that he should monitor that situation closely. What a joke. Could have been mine. No, actually it couldn't, because that one was actually funny. So, anyways, apparently some issues with the monitor, and that was all highlighted, so whatever it is fixed. I mean, honestly, if you have monitor problems, it can only be two things. Either a cable is a little bit loose and you just have to fix the cable, or you have a pet, a dog, or a cat, and the cat attacked the monitor. That can also absolutely happen, and I would not be surprised if that's really what was going on here. So, at this point, we have the two teams collide, and I personally really think that the red team is the favorite for this series. It's a little bit close, as I already said. They are extremely close when it comes to their win-loss record. But just the fact alone that the red team has so far never lost 0-2, but always claimed at least one victory, and oftentimes was incredibly close to finish out the series with a W, leads me kind of to believe that they are much, much stronger than their initial record showed. And Team Dynouh had moments where they struggled. But with a victory here, if Dynouh's team wins right now, that would be massive for them. Because this is their last match. Team Dynouh only play after the series is over. So it's a question of whether they're finishing with 3 wins and 2 losses, or 2 wins and 3 losses. And that can make all the difference of qualifying or not qualifying. Big engage already, as we have the red team getting heavily involved in that camp, but not looking too good for them right now. And that is first blood as Serdath goes down, and Genji gets a last second heal and is able to get away. Still, pretty close. That could have gone a little bit better for Team Serdath. I like the aggression though. I really like that from the get-go they were just all in on that and saying, okay, let's try and see what we can pull off with it. Now we get possession for Sylvanas, who obviously enhances that bot lane push even further. Mirrodin jumps away from the jet propulsion. Nicely done here too. Inexperience is starting to drop out a little bit. Nice, the lick, but it's not going to be enough to take Jojo out. Bad Benny is going to take damage though. And Rutsu is keeping track there. I'm also keeping my eye on Nano a little bit, of course. He plays one of his favorite heroes, if not his favorite hero, I guess together with Chromie, and that should help them to get hyper aggressive later on in the game, and I expect some big plays from him. Yeah, Benny low, but able to get out. And the problem that we have currently is that Team Serdath is not taking camps themselves. That's actually a problem. Because they are going up against camps claimed by the blue team over and over again. They themselves are not spending any time on their mercenary camps. And so, okay, finally we're going to get some taken. But that means that they are just defending all the lanes. And now we might finally see them starting to attack a bit and get aggressive around this. Cure on Thrall has now 2 stacks on his level 4. It's always a bit tricky when you're on these solo lanes to get those wolves connected. And he is going to try. But we'll see how long it takes him to complete the quest talent on level 4. They are all jumping up towards the top lane, even Sylvanas, and that means that they're attempting to take another wall out. They have level 7 talents already, which amongst other things gives us Ancestral Wrath, always nice. And we get the Festering Wounds here too. And they're already starting to take that wall apart. So, some easy hits coming in. 1 kill to 0 overall. That wall destroyed. And down at the bottom of the map, Benny again going all solo against Serdath, as those Siege Giants are starting to push that out. On level 7 we're now also getting Conviction. Muradin, yeah, it's gonna be fine. The Candy King, the Pedo skin. Well, Furion over here, starting to take the... If Epstein played Heroes of the Storm, that's the skin that he would have played. You know it, I know it, and Donnie knows it. So, yeah, I mean, if that does not convince you that you should switch your skin, then I don't know what does. But Masquerade, I mean, we all know it. I'm gonna call it the Epstein skin from now on. So, yeah, the Candy King is in, and right now, Muradin didn't kill himself, by the way. Nano goes down, so that's a quick kill on Hanzo, and this is where Team Dynouh gets massively aggressive. And that's the 3rd kill for them. So, 1 level lead, and now they're just beelining back to the fort to try and take that one out. And they're gonna get it. So there's a 4 down, that's 3 kills, they have the first seed. Well, it seems like they might be the favorites after all. They're absolutely crushing it over here. And half a level until level 10 abilities are in. Down at the bottom of the map, we're already having Nano trying to take at least the minions out. They're getting extra XP and they need it. They need those minion waves. Because level 10 is clocking in for Team Dynouh any second now. And that means you can't fight for any seeds that are left here. This one they will have to let go. I just don't see a world in which Team Serdath is taking it. Especially with now Hanzo getting lost again. What the hell? Hanzo gets killed too. And boy, this is starting to get a little bit nasty. Sylvanas is already helping the team to push once more. And since they have level 10 abilities, they're gonna get this one 100%. I mean, there's already the next attack with the Blessed Shield. Muradin is gone. You see, he told it he didn't kill himself. It was Thrall. And that fort is eliminated. They're blocking Malfurion, and he's dead too. What a slaughter. What an absolute slaughter. So, 2 forts gone. 6 kills to 0. 1.5 level advantage. Nearly a 2 level lead. Now they're getting the seed, the second one I might add, and they're stealing a couple of the mercenary caps away. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's a pretty good start here. And if they were, I mean, if the gap was a little bit wider, then they would just go for the topside 4-2 and take this one out as well. As is, they're not doing it. So, yeah, right now we're currently having at least some resistance from Team Serdath, thanks to them grabbing level 10. No surprises on the ults, but they better buckle up and step it up, because that is... yeah, they're in a world of pain right now. If they're getting Garden Terrors, I mean, if Team Dynouh walks down and gets to that seed, wow, they might lose a keep. We're 7 minutes in. Just for a bit of context. Masquerade with a Zoning Stormbolt. And now they have also Siege Giants at the top, and they can just easily move down to the bottom of the map. They're waiting for Dehaka. Yeah, Serdath takes the safe path right now. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Ah, he just missed him. He just missed Dehaka. But they could have gone already a bit hard on this. So they let the seed go, and now Sundering, Wailing Arrow, and an easy kill. I feel a little bit sorry for Serdath. He gets clearly targeted sometimes, and they wanted that fort. They sacrificed the seed at the bottom of the map. It was all about hiding and making sure that the opponent doesn't have vision on you, and then they collapse on Dehaka. They take the fort out at the top, and that is the entire outer ring of defense now being eliminated. And, boah. Good job. I mean, honestly, pretty fantastic performance here from Team Dynouh, at least initially. They're absolutely clutching it here. And a win, as I said before, would go a long, long way. If you have a 3-2 track record in this round robin, you are essentially through. I guess there is some wild scenario in which multiple teams and maybe all of the remaining teams have a 3-2 track record. I think that's technically still possible. Don't nail me down on it, but I think it is. But generally, if they win here, they are fairly safely unless crazy stuff happens in the playoffs. So, yeah. Down to the bottom of the map. Again, we have catapults in every single lane right now. So it's not only the problem that you have camps pushing, but now you have catapults against you. And guess what? This is Garden Terrors. At least I would be more than a little bit surprised if the blue team would lose this one to their opponents, because they have a talent advantage and just a way better position on this. So, yeah, Garden Terrors are going to come in a moment. There's an interrupt again. Thrall completes his quest. And Nano is just annoying as hell. They are delaying nicely. They're gonna get level 13 thanks to the Haka at the bottom of the map. So this might not be a done deal after all. Very diligent effort by Team Serdath. But they're sundering, Wailing Arrow, and Muradin says bye-bye.
And we say bye-bye!
He is gone, 8 kills to 0. Now they go for the follow-up, and Hanzo is dead too.
Bye-bye!
So with that, we're now looking at half a level to 16. We're looking at Garden Terrors. They get the triple kill. That's 10 kills to 0. That's wild. 10 kills to 0 in this one. So, yeah, Copenhagen, he channels it, and they have, of course, all of the lanes essentially pushed out already, which means that those Garden Terrors are spawning right at the front, and it's time to try and take some of those keeps out. The only good thing for Team Serdath is that it's so early in the game that the death timers are low, but honestly, at this point, yeah, they're going through them like hot butter through cheese. If you have kids watching this, I am not responsible for any lasting damage that this game will do to them, so please put them out of the room, take them away from the monitor, because what's happening here isn't legal in quite a few states. I mean, this is absolutely brutal what we're seeing. I mean, please, they're dead already. Stop kicking them. So, Garden Terrors with the damage on all the keeps. All of them are getting attacked here. There's the Ancestral Cure alive. The red team is chasing, desperate. They're currently 4 levels behind. They're 16 talent behind, but they get a kill on Sylvanas. They got the Sylvanas kill, and now it's Jojo that fell. That's wild. The keep at the top has been destroyed. The keep in the middle, funnily enough, is still standing. Down at the bottom of the map, it's also taken a severe amount of damage, but it's not gonna fall there either. But that the red team was able to win the fight is crazy. That's actually bonkers. Good on them. Doesn't change the fact that they are massively behind right now. Muradin is trying to steal a camp. We have 30,000 damage for Hanzo, 32,000 for Sylvanas. It's not going to take long for Team Dynouh to be back up on the map. And they might lose the talent advantage now, but the one thing that they're maintaining is a solid lead in experience. So, yeah, big moves here all in all. And, of course, with the 2 remaining keeps already this low, I mean, 20 kicks in, the blue team is going to siege up on them, and it's going to take both of them. Or you win a team fight, of course. But at least we're having 2 kills now on the board for the red team. So that's something. Yaga's trying to push this out at the top lane and get them some extra experience as well. Over here now. Alright. In comes the Blessed Shield. What a play! And that's an easy kill on Malfurion. And they are hoping to get a little bit more as Muradin jumps out. Genji rushes away. And that is honestly the one thing that Team Serdath is doing best, running away in the team fights. And I don't really blame them. With only Malfurion gone, there's only so much that you can do, but they are going indeed for that keep. They take this one, and they have a chance to also go for the one down at the bottom of the map. So right there, another opportunity to drop it. Sylvanas is of course helping out with this as well. There are now 10 seconds until Malfurion is back. And once that all of the keeps are gone, then yeah, that's essentially lights out. Now, as I say that, Dynouh's team was in the exact same situation once already. It was actually even better back then. The core of the opponent was down to 51%. And they nearly lost it. So, while this looks very much like an easy victory for Team Dynouh, let's just not call it just yet. Just on the off chance that we are looking at a bit of a wild comeback. Which is obviously going to be made so much worse once that level 20 turns already. But they see Muradin. Alright, Arrow. Blessed Shield out as well. They want Malfurion again, or do they? They want to go for Masquerade. Yeah. The Epstein skin has an integrated taunt ability apparently. Which I absolutely understand. Kill it! Kill it with fire! Same as for Brightwing. Half a level until 20. It's funny to see the blue team scramble because they don't want to die here before level 20, but they get the perfect setup again in the fight and they take Muradin down. Malfurion is dead, and that is the Haka getting killed too. Jojo still fighting it out a little bit in the middle of the map. And honestly, yep, that's a Jojo kill right there with a Blessed Hammer. So that's 4 heroes down. And you can already guess what's happening in the game. We're going to look at a victory on the first map for Team Dynouh. They actually just won Genji at this point. The core is already going to fall by itself. So Genji is gone. 5-man team wipe. As Team Dynouh with 16 kills to 2 locks in an easy victory, dominant victory in a perfectly played first game of this best of 3 series here in the round robin of the Captain's Clash. GG. We're going to head straight into game number 2, but before we do, once again guys, if you enjoy the coverage on the channel here, if you enjoy the match, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It also helps to boost the game to an even wider audience. And of course, it helps to get people back into Heroes of the Storm as the algorithm recommends the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past. So again, before we continue, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Appreciate it. And with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. Well, Team Serdath certainly got their butts kicked on the previous map. Rumor has it that the big break between the two games was because they had to first find some aloe vera to apply them to all of those burns they just received. People have been saying they're going to play this game standing because they just got their butt kicked. So, can't sit down, you know. Anyways, now that we're heading into Alrock Pass, quick reminder, there are no draft rules on this one, so you can pick all of this again. And Team Dynouh massively stepped it up on that last map. It's a bit weird to say they stepped it up, but honestly, if you looked at the previous games that they played, they always played alright. And they had obviously a decent track record there too. But I haven't seen them play this dominant in a while, and against a team like the red team who has played some fantastic games. That was quite interesting and refreshing performance there. So I liked it a lot. I currently want to see what exactly the red team is now going to do, because if they can bring this one back and again force game number 3, which they so far have always been able to do in every single series that they played, that would be fantastic for them. Now, quick reminder, red team is currently on 1 win and 2 losses. If they lose and they're on 3 losses, they are one of the candidates to drop out of the tournament after the round robin is done. So we only have a couple of matches left after this one, and they will determine everything. But loss here for Team Serdath is going to be difficult. I mean, to be fair, same for Team Dynouh. But yeah, 1-3 after 4 matches played would be a tough one. Now, anyways, Junkrat gets picked very early on here on Aldrich. Aldrich Pass was, by the way, chosen by the blue team. So Team Dynouh wanted to play this out here. This is actually the map where Masquerade started with all of those Nubaruk shenanigans. And I'm not sure if they would go for Nubaruk here. It's not really a tank that gets picked a lot these days. And hasn't had the best track record either. Doesn't mean that you can't win with a Nubaruk. But the times where you could go to Aldrich Pass and use Nubaruk to sneak the objective by just spawning a couple of beetles, distract the grunts or the defenders, and then, you know, channel it, they're kind of over. Normally, when you have a Nubaruk taken, teams immediately monitor that and have a hero ready, but they're still going for it. Masquerade picks a Nubaruk again. The fact alone that Team Dynouh didn't ban him out, though, just tells me that they didn't respect it enough. That they were just like, yeah, whatever. They banned out Chromie so that, yeah, Nano can't take Chromie. Same time, we have Zeratul banned out. Another good ban. Rutsu with Zeratul on this map is also menace. But Masquerade is apparently going to try and sneak the objective in every now and then. Or at least progress. Sergeant Hammer gets banned. Hammer doesn't get played a lot, but when she gets played, she's annoying. So, right now, Tracer also gets the axe. Haven't seen a heal picked yet, but let's see what we're getting. Cure and Dynouh. I mean, Cure has been playing a lot of Thrall. Those triple frontline plays that they've been executing have worked well for them. And for Cure makes things also a little bit easier. And I have seen this draft before somewhere. Where have I seen this draft? Can't put my finger on it. Johanna, Sylvanas, Rhaegar. If they pick Thrall here, it would be funny. So, Falstad and Brightwing. Those are the final 2 picks for Team Serdath. So they now have a global that they can use too. But yeah, Copenhagen with Blaze. And now, what is Cure going to pick as the final choice on Alderac Pass? Yeah, they go for Hanzo. Alright, so Hanzo is in. They're going for 2 range damage here. Map number 2, match point for Team Dynouh. It's the final series that Team Dynouh plays in the Round Robin. They're currently on 2 wins and 2 losses. Let's see if they can make it 3 wins in total. Alderac Pass, ladies and gentlemen. Team Dynouh in blue on the left side. We have them with Cure on Hanzo. Captain Rex is playing Rhaegar. Dynouh and Sylvanas. Copenhagen with Blaze and Bad Benny on Jojo. On the right side of the map, it is Masquerade for Team Serdath with Nubarak. With a legion of beetles on level 1. We got Rutsu and Falstad. Nano is playing Junkrat. Blow him up. That's a good motto to have when you're Junkrat. Pachessa with Brightwing, and Serdath on Leoric with Consume Vitality on level 1. The red team is already splitting on the lanes a little bit, just making sure that they have an eye on wherever Sylvanas could push, but the blue team is just easily moving into the middle. No detouring, not trying to be sneaky, just brute force in the mid lane, and they take the tower down to 50% of itself, a little bit less. So, fairly straightforward, nothing too nasty. But good job by them too. We have now Hanzo slowly moving towards the top. Down at the bottom of the map, Falstad is also just like sitting tight, doing his thing until the side lane arrives, which in this case is Blaze. And the Sylvanas rotation is now coming. Oh, but the jet propulsion missed. And here comes Brightwing, and they might still get a kill, and yes, they do. Brightwing goes down. I like the aggression from Team Dynouh. Actually, we have a lot of teams right now that are super aggressive, and it's a total pleasure to check that one out. I said this actually earlier. We had so many great games in this tournament. I was a little bit worried because I went through all of the games that are already started uploading, and when I made the thumbnails for YouTube. And we had tons and tons of epic matches, and I was already worried that some people would start complaining. It was like, every game is epic. And I'm like, well, they are amazing. Like, what do you want me to do? It's just what it is. But if you're actually watching this on YouTube, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. Helps to promote the videos here, to grow the channel, and maybe grow the hero scene a bit. And of course, in an idle world, also watch the video to the end. That in particular helps quite a lot. Oh, talking about the end, this might come a little bit earlier today than expected. At least if Team Dynouh continues to play like this. They are now coming in and start to take out those towers fairly quickly. Not completely, but a couple of hits here, a couple of hits there. You work the hit points down slowly, make your moves. Rhaegar already jumped in as they were trying to go for Junkrat for just a moment. Now we get Punish upgrade, or not the Punish upgraded, but like the quest talent with Subdue. Always nice when you're actually able to complete this thing. But down at the bottom of the map, it is payback time from the looks of it. Team Serdath is now trying to make their own moves, and Bad Benny is alive! And Falstad is gone. And might not be the only one to die here. Masquerade, does he get the cooldown back? And the answer is nope!
Nope.
Not happening. 3 kills, 2-0. Yeah. Not sure what to tell you here, but Team Dynouh has stepped it up massively. This is, by the way, of course, another thing that we have oftentimes in a lot of these tournaments, where you have teams that are drafted in a captain's format. In the first few games that are played within any phase after the teams got drafted, there's oftentimes a lot, you know, where they have to still find their synergy. Maybe they change shot callers, maybe just a couple of scrims that they're playing where they're training with other teams will show them a couple of weaknesses that they have that they got to work on. And then as we're going through the weeks, some of the teams, you know, they just find their groove and they're starting to do their thing. By the way, yeah, talking about doing their thing, Masquerade doing exactly the thing that I was talking about earlier. So he was trying to come in and sneak in a few points on the objective, and instead he finds nothing but sweet death. And falls at the same. So, told you, teams are not gonna fall for that this easily anymore. Masquerade has done that in the past, others have copied it. Teams have started to very aggressively monitor those situations, and now they're reacting to them, and that's 6 kills to 0. I gotta say that this is a bit reminiscent from what we've seen in game number 1, and so far Team Serdath is getting pretty much wrecked. Now, they're not making too much of a play here. Nano recaptures it, but they are being aggressive around it and forcing the opponent to react, which of course also allows for pushes to happen at the top, maybe here in the middle. We've seen Dynouh with Sylvanas just run around the entire time and attempt to get some damage in here, some damage there. There's a tower, there's a gate, and you know, all of a sudden the top wall is missing. You don't have to play it all out with the objective alone, and they're playing this smart. For the red team, a little bit of a different story. They have to somehow now, oh, Bright being left behind! Yeah, that's always the problem when you're starting to move in like this. Can they get the kill? And the answer is yes, they can. Nuburak has been sneaking the objective again, but I'm not quite sure if they're really all that worried about it. Because if you're taking a look at the experience advantage, it's massive. And on top of that, they're also able to get to level 10. Masquerade is dead again! And the Grunts have already, or the Footmen have already retaken the prisoner camp. And now that they have level 10 abilities and 8 kills to 0, they can easily come in here and start taking the objective. And of course, on top of that, it's also a pretty easy move to try and take the thing out here. So, yeah. Bright being dead earlier. Falstad dying at the bottom of the map initially. And now it's even a boss that they're going to go for. So, a little bit of a tricky one here. The objective is still being covered. They go for the boss instead. But since they have level 10 abilities, I just don't see a world in which Dynouh's team is giving any of this up. Falstad is down at the bot lane still, is trying to get the experience for Team Serdath so that they have heroic abilities too. Sylvanas has, by the way, not chosen, so still threatening to go mind control. But this is about to be taken out. The boss is gonna deliver for sure here, and they are going for the next channel. There's a bit of time that could technically be bought by the red team before, and it would allow them to get level 10 and then also try and go for the objective before that gets claimed by Team Dynouh. And that's actually exactly where we are right now. So the boss was taken, the top 4 has fallen, but it also means that at least the first one is not quite done yet. And the Nuburak, the first objective. And the Nuburak is trying to sneak that again, but they have to send somebody back in order to defend. I get it, it's an early game boss. It's not going to destroy the keep here, but opening the wall up alone is already a big setback. Entomb misses. Jojo in the thick of things. They're getting a lot of damage on Leoki, and there is no fort at the top anymore. There's no fountain there either. So there's the objective, finally grabbed, and the gust as Leoki falls, but they lose Junkrat too. Junkrat is gone. The counter kill. Nope. Bad Benny gets healed. Captain Rex again with the Ancestral in time. And that is not only not a kill, it's also the perfect situation all of a sudden for Team Dynouh to get the first keep of the game. Removing an armor shield before the 10-minute mark, 7 minutes in, is crazy. They haven't completely destroyed it, but I guess the radar could it, and even if it doesn't, this is just setting them up for success later on. So now they're jumping into the middle, and that radar could still get it at the top. Not sure how weak that thing is, if it's strong enough. Yeah, okay, I don't think they're going to get it. It's going to get more damage in, but of course they want more structures. There's cavalry at the bottom of the map. Over here in the middle, they're trying to get more value and maybe even a fort. I don't think they can get too much, but it's still crazy to me how far ahead these guys already are. We're only 8 minutes into the game. There's level 13 now as well. The bottom fort has now been destroyed. With the 13 talents, they can move in the middle. They take this one out too. And they could technically rotate towards the top and siege up on the keep in order to claim it. I don't think they have to. This, in and of itself, is already crazy. But, well, we are at 13,000 damage for Junkrat, which is pretty cute, honestly. top damage for the red team. And then on the other side, you just look quickly to what Sylvanas has, and she's basically doubling it. Hanzo is at 21,000 himself. So, yeah, these guys are getting mad damage right now. Can the red team bring this back? Somehow. Or not? Now, we still have them going for the boss at the bottom of the map. Jojo plays this one out. Dynouh sitting there too. Yeah. I actually think, yeah, they want this one. So they're there with Blaze. I'm not sure if they actually know. They're gonna check soon, I guess. There's a Nubarak. This is gonna get interesting. Blessed Shield is out. Jet Propulsion connected. Boss is probably gonna get leashed. It's nearly dead though. It's basically dead, but yeah, it's gonna get leashed to full HP. Triple Entomb. They want the team fight instead, and they're going for it. Serdath is moving out, and the boss is back at full HP. It kind of sucks a little bit for them. Now the red team is now in possession of level 13 talents, and they're coming back here. But they're also a bit low, but they have to give it up again. The problem is that there's a big camp and minion wave pushing through the middle of the map, so the longer the fight lasts down here, the better technically for the blue team, because they're getting value in the mid lane, and somehow Team Serdath needs to respond to that. Now they're losing Leoric, which makes matters of course even worse. The boss is about to be taken. There it is. If they can get follow-up kills too, that would be an absolute disaster. 3 seconds for Blessed Shield. And Jojo dies a second before she gets her Blessed Shield. That is just unlucky. Oh, and Masquerade dies too. They're trying to go for Nano. Yeah, once again the Entomb. This mid keep, by the way, it's losing its wall. The wall is gone. The keep will lose hit points as... Oh my god, they're getting murdered on every single lane. The keep at the top has taken so much damage earlier. The keep in the middle has now been pushed by the minion wave and the camp. And now they're pushing with Sylvanas at the bottom of the map where they have the boss going strong. 13 kills to 1. I mean, Jojo died. Just imagine her surviving for like 3 more seconds and getting that Blessed Shield out. But all of the last line of defense, all of the structures are so insanely low already. Up to this point, not a single armor shield has been removed, but it's not gonna take all that long. They're getting a lead on the objective, a tiny one at that, to be fair. But they still get a bit of a lead on it. And now we have Nubarak starting to move in, alright. We're having also a few more camps, of course, claimed. And yeah, Leoric has to defend, the keep at the top. Because this is pushing, every lane is pushing against them. There's another boss up, by the way. So the top lane boss is now up. And they're already beelining for it. If they can grab this one, the keep's just gone. I don't think they go for core with it, because one armor shield removed is just not going to be enough. But this would be a pretty easy one to take, and it just gives you the reward that you're looking for without you even having to do anything with it. This is removing the keep, period. And then you can play around the objective at the bottom of the map, you can wait for the next boss, whatever you do. But right now, yep, this seals the deal. This one's gone. This one's gone. Core, unrealistic, not happening. And the red team is now trying to get the objective at the bottom of the map. Masquerade is already sitting there. That's trying his thing, but they will likely be pushed back again. And Masquerade died 4 times. That's the problem with the Nubarak right now. As an engaged tank, you want to be the one driving the agenda and driving the fights. Are they actually letting this objective just slide? Are they just giving them the cavalry and say like, yeah, we don't care, by the way? So he's sitting on the objective, Nubarak is, and they're just going for the keep in the middle. If they can take that, they can go with the boss for the core. And a Nubarak, he wants the objective for them. Masquerade is buying time here. So yeah, now they can go for the core with the boss. And they get the kill on Falstad. Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. 2 armor shields removed, completely different story. Boss is still at 50% HP, and now they can easily claim it. I don't care how many cocoons he throws out. Brightwing is dead, Leo is dead. That's 2 defenders left, and that is game. Team Dynouh, they finish the round robin with 3 wins and 2 losses. 3 wins and 2 losses. The blue team with a solid chance to advance to the playoffs as Team Serdath goes 1-3 with 1 match remaining. GG, well played.